Hey everybody, it's Magic Prepper, and I just wanted to put out kind of like a PSA, right? It's about everyday carry. And here's the thing, look, a lot of us are always walking around carrying one of these, and I think that's a good idea and that everybody should do it. But if you're carrying a gun and you're not willing to carry a tourniquet, then maybe you need to rethink your whole everyday carry situation, because I now carry a tourniquet everywhere I go, and I do believe you should too. And in fact, I would say that it's more important to carry a tourniquet than a gun. Now here's why, because here's the thing, you guys know that I'm a pro concealed carry guy and I would never tell somebody not to carry a gun. But you definitely should be carrying a tourniquet, especially if you can't carry a gun. And here's why, okay? There's 40,000 or so gun deaths per year in the United States, and that includes suicides and death by cop and everything else, right? And there's about 76,000 gun injuries per year, okay? Now, let's compare that to car accidents. There's about 43,000 deaths by car accident every year in the US, so about the same amount of deaths by car accident as there is gun-related deaths. However, the car accident ones don't generally include suicide or death by cop. The other thing to really keep in mind is that there's 3 million injuries in car accidents per year throughout the United States, and 2 million of those injuries result in permanent injuries, okay? So understand that you only have about 2 minutes to get a tourniquet on before somebody bleeds out. This is way more important and way more statistically likely for you to need than a gun. And at the end of the day, if you carry a gun, there's a better chance you might even need a tourniquet than if you don't carry a gun. Because let's just be honest, now you're talking about all the gun deaths and all the gun injuries, as well as the car accident deaths and injuries, and not to mention any other kind of accident or any other type of injury that could happen that aren't related to either one of those categories. There is 3,750% more injuries from cars every year than there are injuries from guns. And we all drive around in cars, and everywhere we go there's cars, and then there's every other dangerous aspect of just living life out there besides guns. And yet most people, or I'm not going to say most, but a lot of people carry a gun and not a tourniquet, or don't carry either. So I just wanted to kind of bring that to your front and center in the sense of your mindset, because here's the thing, I used to not carry a tourniquet and I used to carry a gun. So this is me too. This isn't just like I do this and not everyone else does and they're wrong. I used to be the guy who had a gun and not a tourniquet. And what I'm trying to say is that if I was to carry one of them, it would probably make more sense, at least statistically, to have a tourniquet than a gun. But I say you should carry both. That's how I approach it. But if you're only carrying a gun and not a tourniquet, you really should probably rethink what it is you're willing to bring with you. Don't carry the gun if you're not willing to carry a tourniquet, right? And the other thing to keep in mind is that if you're going to carry a tourniquet, you have the CAT Gen 7 tourniquets, which are a really good way to go because they're the most user-friendly, the most easy to apply, and they do the job very, very well. But I carry a soft T tourniquet, and the reason I carry one of these is because basically they fold up a little bit more slim. They're a lot easier to carry in your pocket. They don't have the hook and loop that can then rip up your clothes or get stuck on things, and they don't have the rigid clasp that helps basically keep everything in position when using the tourniquet properly, because right now at this point in time I can't remember all the proper vocabulary related to tourniquet parts for some reason, because I'm on camera. That's how this works. But what I'm trying to tell you is that I carry a soft T. These are very capable. You can easily carry a CAT Gen 7. That'll do the job as well. I used to carry a SWAT T tourniquet, as you've seen in some of my previous EDC videos, and at the end of the day those are very difficult to apply to yourself. So I stopped carrying that as my main tourniquet. Maybe you want to carry it as a backup because they're good for using on children, but if you're going to carry one tourniquet, it should at least be a soft T or a CAT Gen 7. And at the end of the day, you're going to be glad you have that on you, because if you ever do need that gun, you should probably have a way to treat a gunshot wound. And one of the best ways to do that, if it was to hit an extremity, is via a tourniquet, right? So just wanted to bring this PSA to everybody's attention, because the numbers don't lie, and there is a much better chance throughout your entire lifetime that you will have to apply a tourniquet to somebody than you will have to use a gun on somebody.